Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldilocks Productions presentation of the In the Psychic Flow Show with Carolan Carey.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to In the Psychic Flow. So delightful to have you listening to us this evening. We are speaking to you from the lovely Jewel on the Bay, Sarasota, Florida, awaiting Hurricane Dorian. Hopefully it will go north of us. I'm sorry for the people in Tampa, but I hope it goes that way. And I pray for everybody that batten down the hatches, and probably not going to get it till like Monday, but we're going to have some storm residue as it moves up from the Bahamas. So please keep us in your thoughts. Everybody take care of your pets, yourselves, your house, your belongings, and stay safe. Tonight, we have a lovely guest with us tonight. Her name is Joan Carra. She is Carra. She is the New York medium who lives in Connecticut, actually. I met Joan when she was visiting Sarasota. She is a lovely person and a great psychic medium. Really enjoyed working with her. Her readings were phenomenal, and her class on healing was phenomenal. Just enjoyed it very much. Very touching person. She's lovely and multi-talented lady. She's been mentioned in several books. She's been at the Edgar Casey Learning Annex, I think, down in New York, and I share that with her. She does readings there. She's been mentioned in 7 books. She's nationally known. She does all kinds of just some really special readings, and I think you're going to be delighted with them tonight. You're very lucky to have her. I just wanted to talk about her website a moment. Let me put that out there before I introduce Joan. Her website is www.psychicjoancarra.net. Joan, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm very grateful and honored to be on your show. Carol's lovely as well, and I do send a prayer of protection around Florida. It's for all the beautiful people I know, and just it's such a lovely place, and we love it there, and we hope for the best.
Oh, thank you very much. That's fabulous. Thank you for keeping us in your thoughts. I wanted to talk about your background a little bit. Now, did I read that you read coffee grinds?
Yes, I do. And I converted my aunt was specialized in that, and I converted it to tea leaves. And I just learned something that relates to that is I now do lipstick kisses. I only did it once. I'm going to be doing it again in a few weeks for a fundraiser for the Spiritualist Church. I approach it the way I approach tea leaves and coffee grinds. My aunt, when she would come over, we would even save our coffee cups. The old ways, now the coffee makers are with those little plastic, the Keurig.
Yeah.
But you used to have a little sediment of coffee grinds, and when you drink it, it would form a picture and patterns, and then you read. The pattern stimulates. It's a symbol. If you see an animal, you could tell them it's their totem animal. You see a number. And I've had, tea leaf readings to me are pretty amazing. And now with the lipstick kiss, which is very funny, you could see the patterns when I let them kiss the paper. And you see little patterns, and you can also get a riff on what you see.
That's amazing. I have never heard of that before.
Well, there's a thing called lipology, but mine's different because I approach it more of like a tea leaf reader. So I'll see the little symbols, where the other people are going to do it a little different than me.
Well, I have never. That's the first.
You actually could read anything that gives a picture. Before tea leaf reading became popular, in England, they used to use like molten lead in the water, and that was kind of dangerous. So it doesn't matter. It's whatever the pattern. You see a pattern in something, and then you get off on it. because you're usually using your intuition, and you're playing with something that stimulates the inner voice in your pictures.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And you grew up in a metaphysical family.
Yeah. My aunt was a psychic, but in those days you kept it hidden. She could only read for the friends and the family. My mom had prophetic dreams. She would know when people were going to die. That's not an easy one. I've met people who have that, and they don't want that because you go through the funeral twice and you can't prevent the death. That's not an easy one. And my father had a great interest. He was a big bookworm, so he built a library, and we had all the books to read at a young age. And I do find professional psychics start young with their interests.
Mhm. And do you think it's a hereditary
For me,
thing?
it was. For me, it was. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I found out that there was a side of the family that my mom's Sicilian. She didn't talk to this side, that side. So I found out the side she didn't talk to, that they were psychic too. So we're now having like reunions with distant relatives, and I found out that it's on both sides of my family.
Wow, no wonder you're so wonderful. You got such a great gene pool and a good upbringing in it. That's fabulous.
Well, I'm lucky that it wasn't suppressed. I did meet a psychic many years ago. It was very suppressed by her family. And, you know, people could go crazy because they're going to call you the devil or a witch, you know. And she was a very, very excellent psychic, but she almost, you know, she would have gone crazy if she didn't do it. But she had a lot of rejection from the family. It was scary. It's like coming out, you know. I met another person who uses a different name. She said, if my children's in-laws find out that I'm a psychic, oh my God, I'll never see my grandchild. Is this still going on? Things like that. I think it's not as bad as it was years ago, but you know, it's not always accepted.
Well, yes, that's true. We are more fortunate here, especially here in Sarasota. It's a very metaphysical city.
It's an amazing
to be open
town.
To it.
Yeah. When I read about it before I went there, and I made an effort to get there. And working with the Light Center, they were just amazing people, and I was just so impressed. You know, I did a few trips to different areas of Florida, and I'll tell you, Sarasota's my favorite spot.
Oh, yes. Isn't it lovely? It is a lovely city.
It's so different. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a pleasure. We had you at Sarasota Center of Light. It was a pleasure. It was so nice to meet you. You have always
met people there were amazing.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed your visit.
And you. Everybody was and very well, like very depthful in their studies of the metaphysics. Everybody.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Well, we enjoyed having you teach. You were also, you belong to near-death experience groups.
Oh, you know, that's a long time ago. Yeah, I was part of a near-death. It was in New York City and in Connecticut. I lectured there. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I belonged to. Yeah, in a way, I belonged to it. I went there. Yeah, I did. Forgot about that. You know, you do so many different things, and you're always networking. That group was based on what's his name? John Moody's work. Moody.
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
who. It was based on. It was like a subgroup of his group.
Okay.
He wasn't there, but it was based on him. It was like a subgroup of him.
Wow.
That makes sense.
And you also hired psychics for promotional events?
Yeah, sometimes. If I, occasionally that happens. I worked with some agents. I had sometimes I'm the one who has to get the psychics. I think my claim to fame was when I had to get 100 psychics to promote the TV show Psychic Detective. And when they called me, they said 3 other psychics said they couldn't do it, but I networked a lot, and I felt like I was a general getting the troops of the army. Well, get the Jersey people from that center, the New York center, the Long Island centers. So I called all the centers, and I had it in 10 days. I had 100 people interested.
That's fabulous. That is great.
And I wish I could do that more often, but you don't always need so many psychics to do readings, and it was it was free for the public, which was amazing.
Wow.
So it was free readings. but not everybody knew we were there. It wasn't like it was outside, but it was pretty amazing to do that event. But that doesn't come up too often. It came up once, and occasionally if there's other events, I'll hire more.
Your spiritual counseling has been recognized in at least 6 books.
Yeah.
The 100 Top Psychics in America.
Well, that's the first edition. They have another edition, but
okay.
I didn't get
in
the
Psychic
second. I didn't
New
keep
York.
up with talking to the. Yeah, these are pretty old books. I have to get in some new ones.
Yes, you do.
Well, my friend's new book is Harmony and Chakras, and I wrote a chapter, and she's going to
yes, I was going to
do
mention
a couple
that.
of volumes. Yeah. So,
very
and
nice.
I have to do my own book. That's the most important thing, and it's just I did some affirmations and to get public relations. I'm an entrepreneur on a budget, so when I first started, I just said, it's free to get PR. I just did that and lit a candle, and then I get 2 phone calls from 2 different authors saying they're writing a book about the psychics. And I said to the second phone call, I said, well, you just called me last week. She said, no, I didn't. I'm the only one writing this book. And I said, no, there's another lady with something similar. So to me, I do teach psychics, you have a gift. And you can use it for business. Put your psychic energy out to get the extra business. You want the PR, you want the extra work. So you have to do that. I even tell people like actors or writers and they need recognition for their work. I said, you have to put that out there, send the vibe. It has to come from within. So
That's
that helps.
Fabulous. Yes,
yeah.
Very nice. And you do teach people. You've taught at the New York City Edgar Casey Center and Lilydale.
Yeah,
as well
I taught
in
at
New York.
Lilydale Animal Communications, and that's pretty amazing to go up there. They have the fairy garden and a pet cemetery, and I did the what was that thing called, the stump.
Oh, you did? Yeah. How did you like that?
Well, I want to tell you a funny story about the stump.
Okay.
They kept postponing when I could go on the stump for 3 days.
Wow.
No, let's say 2 days, because they had a class. I said, well, the class is going to go first, and they said, we don't have time for you. You're visiting psychic. And the first time I thought I was going to go on, I kept hearing the woman who cooks with rose water. And that's usually Mideastern cooking. And then by the time I was up there, I said, I don't know if I can say this. That's from 2 days ago. Maybe that person isn't in the audience anymore. But I said it anyway. I asked, should I? And sure enough, somebody rose their hand and said, yeah, that was my aunt, and she cooked desserts with rose water. And I was just amazed that it came up, even though logically you would say, well, that was for the person for Friday, not for Sunday. But you have to go with that intuition. It's very strong, and you do get tested. You know that, Carol.
Yeah.
You get tested. And a lot of times, logically, you're going to say, there's no way I could say that to this person. But when you do, it makes sense to them, not to you. You're just the messenger.
Absolutely. And I guess Spirit knows better than we do, apparently, because they knew that girl was going to be there. So that's fabulous.
Oh,
that
God, that was
nice.
crazy. Yeah, that was something where I was stunned. Because I said, I'm in a very powerful place, and you're having to prove yourself. And plus, I had to really accept trust and just say, well, this is an old message from a couple of days ago, but I'm going with it. So, yeah. That's
amazing. Especially up at Lilydale. Well, a lot of places that you feel tested and you really are on the spot. And it's sort of, I always liken the experience to jumping off a cliff without a parachute.
Oh, God.
You really have to trust. Would you say that's the feeling?
Well, I don't think it's as extreme, because that's I think maybe for you, but I don't want to go that way. But it's sort of a trust of just say you're jumping off that cliff, but you have angel wings helping you fly. A soft landing. Oh, boy.
It just is kind of initially in the beginning. I remember feeling that, and you really have to learn the trust factor that you, like you mentioned very beautifully, that we are just the messenger, and this is going to come through us, and it is not for us we may think, oh, that's not that important, but to someone in the audience or someone you're reading, that is the main thing. That is a very significant clue that verifies that their loved one is with you. So that's really great. It is the trust factor. I bet you're an amazing teacher. I would like to see you teach. I bet you're amazing.
No, weren't you at my class? I think you were in the class.
I went to a healing class. I was with your healing class. And everyone in there, wasn't a big group, but it was really...
Oh, it was a forgiveness class.
Yes, it was
but
a
really... we were teaching. I was teaching the healing, not just... I wasn't doing hands-on healing, just setting vibes.
No, you were teaching the healing.
It. Yeah.
And everyone in there walked away with something remarkable. I have to say.
That I'm teaching that again, and I'm going to write an article for it too. It'll be in a Natural Awakening up here. That is like a lifelong study, so that comes from my heart, and I would say that's never an easy thing intellectually. Oh, forgive, that makes sense, but to really do it on a very deep level, I think that is quite profound and difficult, and I don't think it's so easy to do it because resentment is there, and sometimes you have trauma that did do things. I don't want to use the word ruin your life, but put your life in a different direction than you expected and put a lot of obstacles, but you have to go so inward, and and one of the things I found from teaching that class, which sometimes the person you have to forgive, you realize they have like a mental illness and compulsions that they couldn't even control. And then you're like, wow, that person's really sick. Maybe they need compassion, but at the same time, we don't have a cure for them. So then you realize that it's maybe not to you directly they did it. They just had their own demons or illnesses that they're fighting within, and there's no way out. And it was directed at you. Yeah, that makes it change. But the main thing is when you get over your resentment, because it blocks you. It blocks you for everything you need to do in your life, and it blocks your heart from loving.
Well, I have seen the people that attended that class afterwards, naturally, at the center. And I have to say, I think they walked away, their feeling was they walked away with something very profound and remarkable from that. So I want to thank you for that.
I'm very moved to hear that. I'm very moved.
Yeah, it was very touching for me as well, and an experience for me. And I know that everyone was better for it. So thank you so much for bringing that to us. So how do you feel about taking some callers tonight?
Oh, I'd love to. I'm ready.
Okay, and we have some callers.
Okay, great.
Awaiting that are just because they're stacking up and queuing up because you're here naturally. And our first caller is area code 520. So we're going to start with our first caller and see if they are still listening to us.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa?
Hello,
yeah,
Lisa.
Hi.
Hi, I have Joan Carra for you. I'm going to be quiet. Joan Carra is going to talk to you. Go ahead. What's your question?
Oh, how do you see the longevity of my relationship with my boyfriend?
Could I have your birthday? That would help me. I'm also a numerologist.
9/20.
Well, first I'm going to analyze you a little bit. You come from the heart because of the 9 is heartfelt. And the 2, you love to be in a relationship. That's your specialty. That's natural for you. 1 and 2 is 3. And what year did you meet your gentleman?
What year did I meet him?
Yeah, that's what we look at that in numerology.
Okay, what year did I meet him?
I mean, is it a long time ago, or is it last year? Or?
Oh, let me see here now. I think it was 2003.
Oh, it's that's long. Okay, then I'm not going to edit it that way. 9/3. I think you have to do, though, I'm seeing you have to define this relationship. You're calling him your boyfriend. If you want something more, I think that's the level you have to start talking about. Because right now it's what it is, but it's quite a while that you're together, so it is a long relationship. But I don't think it's as I think there's a little bit of a block. I don't want to use that word. I think, does he go in and out of this relationship? Not as stable as you. It's stop and go, on and off.
You're good. I mean, even when, yeah. And it's
so
not
you're not
like
really in a relationship. You're in a friendship, and there's some very nice things about it, but you have to define what you want. You have to ask what values, you have to tell him what values you're bringing to the relationship, what values you want him to bring to the relationship. But right now it's like your boyfriend, girlfriend, and certain things are good. Certain things, I get him a little bit like he wants things convenient for him. Does that make sense?
Actually, he's wanting the relationship. We both.
He wants more, but you don't. So why do I see it on and off?
There have been times when, there's been kind of like a weakness in the connection with one another.
Oh, okay. I think what you have to do is, you both seem to love each other. You're there for each other, but then you ask each other, do we want more, or is it good as it is? And it could be that it's fine as it is, but you have to see if you want to go to a next level and not to be afraid of that. You know each other for quite a while. I do see that, you're both not looking for other people, but you have to just see. Then you have to just talk about commitment.
Yeah,
I think it's up to you, not.
She has to defend. Lisa has to define what she wants. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to add to the listeners, I've had a whole bunch of cases of women, much older women, who've lived with a gentleman that they love. They both loved you for 30 years or so. They're not married. He dies in his sleep. They call me up, where's the will? And I go, there is no will. Yeah, it's funny, except they're not even on the lease.
Yeah,
and they have to pay for the funeral, and the guy has money. And they're maybe they weren't working. So I've had some terrible situations like that. And then they tell me, well, there's palimony law. But there's only palimony law in 7 states. So you got to protect yourself.
Right.
So I think it's important. There's a reason why we have laws for marriage. I'm not saying everyone should get married, but if you're there 30 years and then you want to, and you're not working, you didn't protect yourself, and you expect all this from him, and he didn't. No one. A lot of people are in denial. They don't want to do paperwork about dying. So I think that's what you have to look at. But
very
you two
well
love
said,
each other.
Joan. You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
That's my first. I hate to be considered crass, but if you're not looking, you're investing time in a relationship, and you don't have a detailed thing, we don't have a marriage, or we don't have a will drawn, or we don't know where we are, it's either time to let that one go or define it. You're right. That's how I feel about
Carol,
it. So,
good. Yeah, good. And especially when you get older, it's very scary to be a woman in your 60s who didn't work for 20 years and is paying for a funeral with your own money to a guy that was going to take care of you. He has the money, and you don't, and you're out in the street.
Right. Well, that's very good advice, Joan. Lisa, I think you have a little homework there to do, and God bless you, and good luck to you.
I know you're going to go on to the next caller. I just wanted to quickly say that doesn't fit our situation at all, but I'll let you go on to the next caller.
Oh, that's all right.
Thank you.
That's all. We were doing that in general. I was talking about that in general. About
that
thing.
In general.
I think you two are together. Just if you want to go deeper, you two have to talk about it. All right. Who's the next?
Okay. Our next caller is area code 940. Sometimes people don't like to hear. They want the advice, but they don't want to hear it. Hi. Who's calling, please?
I do. I want the advice. I want to hear it.
And what's your name, hon?
Tammy.
Tammy, I have Joan Carra for you. Ask her your
Tammy.
question.
And where are you
How
calling
are you?
from?
Texas.
Oh, wow. All right. What's your question?
Well, I've had a situation where I've been needing protection from the law enforcement, and they haven't been giving it to me. And I was just curious, after this last week's event, will I be able to get that did I make it?
All right, that's not
then?
an easy. Yeah, I wish you the best for protection. Let's send a light around you. That you have to keep nagging and be very what's the word I'm looking for? Forceful about it. There's also women's groups you should talk to that will stand up for you and help you. I don't know about your area how it is. I know in my area, we have a very strong force with that. The YWCAs sometimes have the domestic abuse services and they protect and they even yeah. So I would say
it's not a domestic abuse situation. It's more like a whistleblower situation.
Oh, the whistleblowers, that's the hardest thing in the world. I don't
That is the hardest thing in the world.
It's the hardest thing in the world. It's also timing that because give yourself a lot of inner strength and prayers. Let me just do a little cards for you. Because whistleblowing is almost like a spiritual path because you're doing it on faith. And the world's against you, and if you speak out, there could be abuse. If you don't speak out, your conscience is very tortured. So you have a very spiritual thing. Actually, I do see something. It's going to take a few more months. I think there's something where there's money for this, actually, if that makes any sense to you, like a reward.
Yeah. They are in violation of every civil right I have.
Yeah, yeah.
But
you have to get some good lawyers. Then you have to really take this as a big study of very deep prayers of overcoming. Let me get the word out. Or maybe you could get some groups, some activists. Call up your. You have some very vocal congressmen, senators there. So perhaps you have to really learn. And this is about being assertive and making your truth known, speaking your voice, speaking your truth. That's a very big thing. And I do see it's going to get better. But you got to get some people on your side, which means your communications from your heart of convincing people to help you. And you said that the law is the people who are law enforcers are against you. So, they stick together. But there's higher ones, people. Yeah. There's higher people. So you may want to, you could be inspired. I'm from New York, and we had the book and the movie Serpico. Al Pacino movie, you may want to look it up. He was a cop, had to go against the cops. It took a while, but then he became a hero, but it was a, nightmare. So I want you to go above. Don't look at it. That's a low echelon. So go above them. And
I
did. The trail's
I did last
week. You got to keep doing it, but you have to do it with timing and with like you got to get the angels, persistence, the angels. I would get the newspaper too, but you have to be able to prove it. That's one of the problems because even lawyers.
I have all the DVDs. I have the DVDs from the body cams. Yeah.
Oh,
good,
excellent. So you have a lot of things. So just have patience. And work with the prayers. Even work with the forgiveness energy moves a lot of things. That doesn't mean you condone. Always remember, you're not condoning.
Okay.
You're just going to say, I want to go above this situation. What did I learn? I have to forgive the hurt and the abuse I had. And what did I learn from this? And I'm thankful for it. So I learned that I now have to be a voice for other people, and you'll have support. And I do see there's money for you for it. So definitely, you're going to find the right people. In one sense, if it's a legal thing, the Congress people, politicians aren't allowed to get involved because they can't touch legal things. But the newspapers may be able to, and women's groups. I want you to get a support system. But I see it as a positive that you're going to have the strength, keep yourself safe, get some extra copies of that DVD and put it in some other homes,
Right, I intend to send it. Yeah,
good luck. I want to say good luck to you, Tammy. I think you're going to do very well.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it, and you're going to have support, okay? And you're on the right side. So just keep doing divine justice and do your prayers. Yeah, it's a spiritual thing. That's always very difficult. But we applaud you, and we're going to support your courage, and it's growing, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was excellent, Joan. Thank you for all of that advice that you shared with us for Tammy.
That's a tough one.
The hard situation, but I think that
I saw the outcome
she's
is
going to be okay.
Yeah, but it takes a while because, the forces of, there's a lot of crazy things in this world, but you have to keep going.
Right, right. We have another caller here, area code 860. Are you here, please?
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
What's your name?
It's Amala.
Pamela?
Amala.
Pretty name. All right, what's your question?
It's interesting. I'm meeting people who are completely on my wavelength, exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, good.
But
you got a tribe. You have a tribe.
Which is great. But they're definitely taken. And, I don't go there, and that's fine.
Wait, they're taken where? What do you mean they're taken?
They are with somebody. But it's just interesting.
Oh, you mean people that for romance you're talking about. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so boundaries, and also that means maybe you feel, well, don't give up. You just keep meeting people. It's a numbers game.
I know, but do you feel like I'm going to meet somebody special? Because I feel ready. I think this
all right. Well, I think you're ready. What's your birthday? Let me just see your birthday.
Sure. It's 12/16.
All right, wait, hold on. 16 is 7, and 12 is 30. Yeah, this is a good year, but you also, see, the 7 is a very psychic, spiritual vibration, and maybe you're looking for a soulmate, but maybe going to, see, 3 is fun and social. That's your maybe more superficial, fun, flirty. But the 7, it goes more deep. So you want to combine the two. What's good is if you look up, if you want to get your vibe going, look up marriage affirmations. Don't look up love. Look up marriage affirmations.
Okay.
And because that's about partnership. That's really different. This is a good year, but it's a year where the 4 is more structured. Next year, I'm going to be honest with you, it's your flirty years. Number 5, even meeting more people, but it's not a grounded year. The year after that is more grounded, and so for a love that lasts. Doesn't mean you won't meet people, but I can't guarantee next year is your best time for that, for the someone you're going to hook up with for a long time. This year can be good, but the year is September, October. We have a few months, so keep feeling good that you're meeting people. All right, and then as you meet them, don't rush into it so fast. Keep feeling, because you're growing. How old are you?
I won't be rushing into anything. That's
okay.
For sure. I've changed a lot. I mean, my last relationship, I think, was last year in January. Or I don't even remember. That's how, I don't even remember, honestly.
Remember what? I lost you. I didn't hear you. What?
No, I don't remember my last. I mean, I remember the last relationship, but it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Okay, so you're really getting picky and you want what you want. And that's good.
Yeah.
And I think you're honing in on that. So never give up, because love comes when you get so in with creating it and what's loving, and even doing this thing like this, walking around going, I appreciate men, even men of my past, even the guys who hurt you. I appreciate men, and all of a sudden it's easier to talk to them. And this is an interesting one. I'm working on this one. I'm going deeper with my relationships with men. I'm going deeper and more loving. So that's good. I think you have no problem. I think you just sort of, we all get wounded, and sometimes it's not even the guy's fault. We fall in love with what we want them to be and stuff like that. I keep seeing a flower dress. Do you have a pretty dress with flowers on it?
No, I don't wear dresses.
Maybe you need this romantic dress. keep seeing this pretty dress with flowers. Yeah. Well, maybe you're going to do some kind of, I don't know. There's just this pretty romantic, even getting, oh, my God, you definitely couldn't meet some guys. You're also going to do well with your career. I just happened to look at that, and that looks great.
Well, it's already happening. Yeah, I already know. Like, it's already, like, that's why I think it's all going to, I just feel like it's just in such a stagnant limbo land. Because I'm just like, are you kidding me? No more. No more jokesters, no more pranksters, no more players.
That's why you're going to go in for a deeper relationship. But that's good that you could recognize that now. At 19, you can't recognize that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it comes with age.
And I could even see it in friendships, too. Like, I could even see in my girlfriends, like, in a potential person I just met. I know within, like, a minute, I'm like, am I going to get along with this lady or not? I just know because I don't have the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the time to just dilly-dally in life. Just like
but don't judge people too fast because sometimes it's like an onion. You got to peel away some things to get to the core of them.
That, but I'm just going to say, I also, like, you guys, you trust the vibe. I trust the vibe.
So you know your vibe.
That's the first thing that I'm not talking about looks or what they said. It's what they're doing. It's all about the behavior. And the action.
All right. I see you definitely hook up because now you're at a point where you know what you want. You have a lot of beautiful new things coming up, and you're overcoming something. I don't know what it is. Maybe there was a turmoil or a difficulty, but I get the sense of that's over with, and now I'm moving forward, and you're not going to be in stagnation anymore.
Thanks.
Very good. I think that's a good read, Amla. I think good luck to you with that. I think you're going to do very well. Follow Joan's advice.
Thank you.
Yeah, just be in the loving state.
Okay.
Very nice.
Absolutely. Very
good
easy
luck
to do.
You, Amla.
Thank you.
Our next caller is, I want to remind our listeners, on the radio, when you're on the phone, I also forgot to tell anybody, if they're waiting in listening mode, you need to press 1 so that we can speak with you. Unless you just want to stay in the background, that's okay too. But if you'd like to ask Joan a question, you need to press 1 so you can be heard. I also want to remind our listeners that when you call in, because of the phone, it's on the phone line. When Joan is speaking, you're speaking. You can't hear her, and she can't hear you. So ask your question, and then allow Joan to give you the reading, and you don't need to interject. We're going to end it fast because it's too much crosstalk. And nobody can hear anything. So I want Joan to be able to finish her little mini reading for you and give the best reading that you can receive in this situation. So our next caller, thank you for listening to that little speech. Our next caller is area code 202. Are you there, please?
Hi, yes, I'm here. Thank you for taking my call.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Kay.
Kay. Joan Carra is here for you. Do you have a question for her?
I do. Hi, Joan.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, Brooklyn, 202, that's right. I thought that was Jersey.
202 is
that's
DC,
New York.
Actually. I have a DC number, but yeah.
The DC, that's right. I thought it was DC 202. That's right. Okay. All right, what's your question?
I want to see what you see coming up for love and also pick up on, I have an ex that came back from 10 years ago that I literally bumped into. Right. So I want to see what you pick up on.
Well, first of all, there's a reason why
love.
There's a reason why he's an ex, but unless he changed or you change. All right, we'll see. Okay, tell me your birthday,
ma'am.
month and day.
March 5th.
Oh. You are in a relationship year, and when we add your birthday to 2019, it's the 11, which is very idealistic about love. But when we're in that vibration of the 11 for the year, it's about either starting a relationship or breaking up. It's the theme, okay? What's interesting, I want you to be aware of your numbers 3 and 5. The 5 likes freedom and change. So you want to look at yourself as someone who, you may not be the one who's like stability all the time in the relationship, okay? Because you get bored. And then number 3 too is very social and flirty and fast paced. Okay, so you have to see about that. I think the ex, you may have some kind of conversation, or did you meet up again after you bumped?
Mhm.
Yeah, because I got
did.
the impression it was like, well, I'm not going to just bump and leave. I'm going to talk to her. So that was kind of, and both of you progressed a lot. Wow, he's having a good career. That's good. Healing. Let me see. You're also meeting this. Wait, what's this? Give me a second. New things. It looks like you're very anxious for new vibration. Even children. Do you have kids right now, or you want kids?
I don't.
You
I
don't want
have
kids?
them.
Oh, do you want kids?
I'm open.
Yeah, because I do see kids, like, or pets, something to take care of, little critters taking care of little people or pets. I get
pets,
that
yes,
home.
Yes, I was
home.
doing that
You
recently.
saw that too?
A lot of them.
What? Wait,
yeah.
who's what?
Pets. I thought you said pets. I was taking care of a lot of little pets.
You've been taking care of pets. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this nurturing energy for you is popping up. Let's see about which guys. Yeah, so the nurture's coming up. You know, there's certain nice things about the ex. But there's more than one. There's a couple of guys right now to meet, or guys that admire you. So this is the year to get into a relationship if you can. Would be great. What's his birthday, the ex?
October 23rd. He's in
got
the 9
the 5.
year.
He's got the 5 like you, so you both share that freedom and, energy. And then he's got the 1, which could be a little bit more selfish in a certain way.
Yeah.
But you have to realize with him, anybody with those 1s or 7s, sometimes when he has to recharge, he has to be by himself. He's not rejecting you, but that's his way of getting back his energy. I have a lot of 1s, and I don't even, I shut the phone off, and I'm a recluse, or I have to be with a lot of people. So, but people have to understand. I have people arguing. How come you? And I'm like, I can't talk. I can't see a human being. So you have to respect that of him if he has that problem. Let me.
Do you pick up love?
But I see 2 guys. I see more than 1 guy right now. Like as though I'm not saying you're with them all, but you're meeting them. You're having potential. So I think this is a great time of meeting beautiful guys. And there's a lot of nice guys out there. But I'm also getting, I don't know if you think, well, Brooklyn is happening right now, but you thinking of moving?
I'm open to it. I've been here for a long time.
Yeah, I see a change with address. I definitely see a change with address, yeah. But not this week, but I get like you outgrew it. But how is she going to do romance? So this is the perfect timing for it, but let me just see. Does the ex, see, I hate to do that because I don't want to, whatever I say is going to be, well, I think this ex, you do have a friendship going on right now. I'm going to say it that way, okay? You can't rush into it because it's not going to be the same as it was. You're both different in certain ways. But be open to a friendship with him. Are you the type that just could pick up and leave and go to a different place for adventure, like different state? I know you said you were in D.C., but are you looking to
I stayed in New Orleans for a month in April.
Okay, because I think you're the type who gets itchy. It's like, time for traveling, and if you could work and travel, that would be great. Because I see you getting that adventurous spirit, and I don't think you want to be tied down. But I also see Canada. I don't know what you're doing there unless it's just a visit or something. So, yeah. Do you do anything with
intriguing there.
Yeah. Do you do anything with healing profession, medical or healing?
I used to do some healing. I do more like creative, like video, film work now.
All right. The healing is
I
still
love astrology too.
Okay, all right. There's some healing aspects of your work. I don't know if you're ready to settle down right now, but I think you're ready to be reacquaint with the ex. I'm not saying it's going to be a romance, but it's going to be a friend. And then I see other men to meet. I think you have to be clear with yourself because you have those numbers which likes to change around a bit, and you need freedom, both you and him, because he's got a 5-2. You both need a sense of not, some people like to be a couple in a very intense, smothering way. You would go nuts with that.
We used
so
to, though. Like when we dated 10 years ago, we used to be like that, and now it seems different. And I know he lost both of his parents recently, so I just didn't know if, I'm sure he's probably still grieving, and like I just wasn't sure where he was.
Well, why don't you just take it slow? Like, you can't assume anything. Just, I see it as a friendship. I can't guarantee a romance, but I think, and maybe he's ready to be more settled down. He's older. And both, maybe right now you need more freedom than you did 10 years ago because you have more interests. You're both working and doing all this stuff, and you know.
Hey, I think you got some very good advice from Joan.
Yeah, I would take it slow. I would take him as a friend and don't assume anything. All right?
There you go.
It's the year for you to meditate on relationship because you're in the 11th year. So it's idealism about love. So meditate. What is a relationship? What do I want? It's a great time for you to focus on that.
Good luck to you, Kay. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have another caller. I'm trying to slide him in here, Joan. They're so excited that you're here. Area code 203. Are you available?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Are you in Connecticut? I'm a 203.
Well, that's my number, but I'm in California.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great place. Yeah. All right. What's your question? What's your name?
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. What's your question?
My question is, I'm very frustrated with the company I work for, and I want a new job. I have a contingent offer. They have to get the contract for me to get the job, and at this point, it's like I'm just chomping at the bit. I just want a new job.
All right.
And,
all right. First of all, stop saying the word want. That's the worst thing for anything for affirmations, because when you want, you're always in the state of wanting, okay? You have to say, I now have. Even though you're going to say, well, Joan, you're crazy. I don't have the new job. You want to say, I now have. It comes to me easily. That's less frustrating than wanting. That's like a cartoon running in one spot.
Yeah, it's like from coming from loss. When you want, it's like you are coming from a loss.
Yeah, Carol's right. So for you, I wanted to get excited about I now have a great new job, and it comes to me easily. I have high cards for you, so why not? I don't see a problem. Also, timing is never, we want it now, but timing is always different. So one of the things that makes it faster is I want you, every time you walk in the job, just say, I release this job with love. Thank you for everything you taught me, okay? And then I found that if I hated and resented the job, I had to do more of that. Like the next job would be the same, and I would be the same problem. So you want to release it with love. What's your birthday?
November 29th.
29-11. You're a double 11 here. Whoa. Sometimes you can't make up your mind, but 11, it's a 4. You're in the 7th year. It's interesting. It's a very good year for you to do your meditations, affirmations, psychic work, but it's also next year is January. That's not bad. Next year you're in the number 8 year, which is all about business and work, okay? So hopefully you get the job this year, but next year is more in tune with in numerology, okay? So I'm just going to say that that's a great expansion for a career is next year, right? This year, whatever you do, you have to learn and analyze, whatever job you're going to be with. But let's see. Oh, I do get the frustration. Oh my God. You feel like the runaround. The front of it was like blocked. But don't knock your head out. Just keep saying I release it with love. So you said I wasn't that clear about the new job is already offered with this contingency?
Yeah, well,
right.
there's a job that I was offered, but there's a contingency, and they were supposed to see, it's a small business, and they're trying to get into a larger business by doing contract work for them.
Can I tell you something? If I just from looking at the cards, don't put all your eggs in this basket.
Right.
If you can get another, look. You said it's small. Sometimes those small places don't last that well. Look for more work, okay?
Yeah. And if it's meant to be, it'll show up.
Yeah, because I have a feeling this job may not come the way you want it to, and it may not last. I just saw that with the cards. So I would say put out more resumes. Next year is a great year for getting the dream job, okay?
Very good.
More work, more responsibilities, and more money. But this year I do see how, because you're like tied. By any chance, I also saw anything with medical? You work in anything with health and medical? You could say no.
But I have a medical issue that I just recovered from enough to go back to my current job.
Oh.
So I'm getting off disability, and I'm trying.
Oh, that's great.
So
take your time with everything. Take your time with everything, because I think a lot of times when people rush back, then they get sick again because they didn't take their time to heal. That's the most important thing right now. I know you want the money and get back to work.
The job is very frustrating. It's not even that. The job is very frustrating.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was supposed to go back to work tomorrow, and you know what? They don't know what to do with me. So they said, don't come back tomorrow. They don't know what to do with me. It's
so
like,
why don't
it's
you?
Like, why?
No, it's not
why
fair.
Did I ever
it's not
take
fair.
This job?
All right. So I know, but the more you hate it, the more it's going to be frustrating. So take it as, in one sense, they have to take you back, right? Because you were on disability. But try to look for. See, I'm going to tell you something. The number 7, and you're in the 7 personal year, means rest. It's called the Sabbath year. It's rest. The year the energy forces you to rest, even if you don't want to. And I've had people fight it, and then they even knew they were psychics, and they were pushing everything, and they broke their ankle or whatever, and they were forced to still waters run deep. That's what it is. Next year's a running around. Next year's business. So I'm not saying it'll be 3 months not working. I'm just saying it's the nature of the vibration. That's why you're feeling frustrated. So go into I'm accepting the frustration. It's not forever, and I'm putting my resume out or whatever, and then waiting so they get their paperwork. It's all paperwork. So, things like that. And you want to just...
Michelle, that's really good advice. I would slow down this year, take Joan's advice, and think about it. I have another caller that I have to get to.
You don't have much choice. The 7 is slowing down. Then next year, it's slowing you down, so you could do a lot of energy for next year. Okay?
Yeah. Well, I was just out for a month, so I've
all right,
slowed
relax.
down.
So enjoy
relax.
it.
You're
enjoy
okay.
it. Enjoy it. Heal.
Okay.
Good luck to you, Michelle.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. I'm going to slide one more in if we have time, Joan. You up for it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Area code 201. Are you there, please?
Yes, I am here.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Are you calling from Jersey?
Yes. I'm just back in Jersey today.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. And what is your question?
My birthday is January 5th, 1965.
Okay.
And I'm hoping by the end of the year that I'll get a chance to move into a home.
A move. Okay, hold on one second. That's very specific with me.
Okay. 1, 5,
6, and the 9. Oh, you're in the 9. You're in finished completion, saying goodbye. So I know you're anxious to end the cycle of 9 years. Next year's new beginnings is better for the move, but I have a question for you. Is it rent or buy? Buying a home or renting?
No, it's not renting. It's actually I'm trying to settle in the state. And I already have money invested in it. It's not renting. It's
trying to sell
it.
A piece of real estate.
I'm trying to buy it out.
Buy it out. So
vibration
is better for next year because you're in the 9. And I've had people who had real estate issues. Every time they tried to buy a piece of real estate in the 9 year, they didn't go to closing. But once it hit January, it went 1, 2, 3 right away. By February, it was sold. Okay, so or bought was the word. So I'm going to tell you, just from numbers, if you could wait till January, it's a better time. This is a great year to declutter, releasing things. But I think next year's a better investment. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've argued with people with real estate where two people, they were in there 2 years, said, please don't buy. And this was before 2008. Real estate market is so hot, you're crazy. They bought their second piece of real estate, two single women. One was a retiree and one was a single mom. They both lost and went bankrupt because then it was, the recession hit, and then they're paying two mortgages and all that. So I would suggest, just from numbers, you could still say, I don't believe you, I'll do what I want. If you could wait till January, it's better. If you really have to do it, then you do it. But there may be some issues with, I don't know why I hear water issues, flood insurance or anything like that you got to look at.
Well, there are some water issues that I'm working on right now in the basement. I actually have money tied up in this house.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to settle it before the end of the year because of tax breaks.
Oh, for tax breaks. So you're trying to sell this or buy? I'm not sure.
I'm trying to settle it.
Oh, you can settle it. Yeah, ending things. Yeah, this is the year to end things. Yeah. But next year, if you want to invest, I would invest next year. This year, you try to finish everything you can.
Right, because I anticipate that it probably will go into the new year to actually move after the repairs and everything are done.
Right, but try to move next year. That's all I'm trying to say. But this year, finish everything. Yeah, this is the year that wants you to finish everything, completion.
Good luck to you, Jackie. It sounds like you're going to get there, okay? Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very nice, Joan. How do you feel about what I've been getting for people, and I don't do the kind of accurate work that you do. I mostly just talk to dead people. You kind of have everything covered.
Yeah, I talk to dead people too. But
you do more than I do. You have a lot different, a lot more traits than I do.
Oh, okay.
What do you think is happening for 2020 for most people? What kind of year is 2020 going to be?
That's a good question. I have to meditate on that. I do look at that.
Just off the top of your head, what are you thinking?
No, it's a 4-year. I think we got to be practical and get things done. I think we could. I do get a sense about the money issues. 2020 with the election, I'm not going there yet, but I think systems. I'm hearing the word system. We have to be more systematic, more practical, and let me just see how people. There's also some excitement because, of election, but let me just get 1, 2, 3, 22. I was adding that because that's a 4-year and a universal year, and that is about structures and building structures and being practical, a lot about the earth. So I think more focus on social ecology, the environment, and just doing the work, getting down, picking up the garbage, doing the work, and also it's sort of like let me say, it's time to organize the country, and it's time for the grassroots. I think more organizations of grassroots popping up, and not just being idealistic, and
yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, we need to do it. We need to take responsibility.
Yeah. Like, we need to, call up your community. We need garbage pails on the corner. I did that because we didn't have it at the bus stops. Or you need to focus on
your neighborhood,
organizing.
your community.
And do it.
Yeah.
Just do it and do the work. You got to be persistent. And also, let's just tell everybody we need more loving kindness energies are very important to heal everybody. We argue so much and fight, and the work that you're doing, Carol, of just your own work and with the church. Love. We got to start being respectful, even if we disagree with people. We can't shoot each other for a parking spot.
Yeah. Good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Joan.
Yeah.
This is Joan Carra, psychic medium from New York. If you couldn't tell by her voice and by my accent as well, she is residing in Connecticut, but she's a New York medium.
Yeah.
You are multi-talented. You are just a joy to be around. Thank you so much for coming on to In the Psychic Flow, Joan. We really enjoyed having you, and our listeners loved you.
You're a great host.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. And God bless you, and good luck to you. Joan's website is Psychic Joan Carra, CARRA.net. And she will be showing, I'm sure she's going to share all the things that she's got coming up in the end of this year and next year. So good luck to you, Joan.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I need to update that website. And Carol,
thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, listeners.
I'm very honored, and I sincerely appreciate that you invited me on your show.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right, bye.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye. Listeners, next week we will have Evadora Williams, who is FairyDustReadings.com. She is psychic intuitive. So please give us a call next week. We will enjoy her wonderful readings. Evie is a wonderful person. I met her in person. She's great, and she's going to be on our show in the Psychic Flow next week. God bless. Till next time.